Jayden Daniels was on Nightcap.
Yeah. Yep.
With Shane Sharp and Ocho, which is always electrifying. I've never seen a full episode, but I've seen the clips and
they go.
They need. Yeah. I love that they are doing that, and I hope that lasts forever. Here's them talking to Jayden Daniels about, Raiders relationship, and then potentially if he was to go number 2 to the Commanders.
Since we're talking about the Raiders, AP was the DC when you was at Arizona State. And this would be an opportunity if they made a move, because obviously you're not going to be there when they select. So they're going to have to jump over a lot of people to select you. Because you know what it's like. AP, how he is as a person, how he is as a coach. What would that be like to be reunited with a guy that you was with at Arizona State?
I don't know how they're going to pull it off. But I mean, that's above my pay grade, man. But
yeah, I wouldn't do it. I ain't trading. Why would I give up that? You would trade for much of the quarterback, Jay.
Yeah. Hey, man.
I ain't giving that up.
Hey man, just AP, man. AP just as a human being, he the right coach for that team. Just him and the intensity that it brings. He challenged people. He challenged me at 18. So I know if I was to go to the Raiders. I'm not saying I'm gonna go there or I want to go there. I want to go wherever my name called. But if I was to go to Raiders, I know he gonna. As soon as I step foot, he gonna challenge me. He don't care how high I was drafted, none of that. He gonna challenge me every day.
I want to go where my name is called. Big part of that video, I think. Also, Shannon Sharp telling Jayden Daniels, I'm not trading away my team for you, which is also a hilarious thing. Great reaction, obviously, from Jayden. There's been a lot of chatter about maybe some maneuvering happening at number 2 for Jayden to potentially go elsewhere, the Raiders. But Jayden then says, I'll be happy wherever my name's called. What are you hearing about Jayden Daniels? What are you hearing about the Commanders? And what are your thoughts on that? Is this going to go Williams, Daniels? How do you think it goes?
I think on Friday afternoon, I would have had a different conversation with you, to be honest, Pat. I feel like the last few days, things have settled a bit. And I don't know if there's been conversations with Dan Quinn or with Cliff Kingsbury, but from all the intel that I'm gathering, it sounds like Daniels 2 to the Commanders is a lot more likely now than it might have been on Friday, when it was still likely, but there was bubbles about maybe he wasn't happy about the Top Golf visit, or maybe he's trying to direct where he's going. From what I gather, and his publicist, Denise White, came out with a statement saying he will be happy to go with whatever NFL team that he will be drafted by. I feel like 2 to the Washington Commanders. If I'm going to put my name on something now, I think Jayden Daniels is going to go 2 to Washington. And then they still have 5 picks in the top 100. They can surround him with more.
Okay, and to your point, the odds yesterday for Jayden Daniels going number 2 to the Commanders is -180. Now it's like -500, something like that. So that has been one of these during this entire draft cycle, because once again, the sports books only know what we all know publicly, and what we all know publicly is normally coming out of the mouths of the likes of Peter Schrager.
Yeah.
So that is. Hey, you're moving needles, pal. You're moving lines whenever you talk, and that's great to hear, though. I'm excited to hear Jayden say that, because a lot of this process is like team speaking for people or management or those close to, and it's like he said, "I'll be happy wherever my name's called." It's like, boom. We're good. Okay. Let's move along. Yeah. Let's go to number 3 overall pick. Connor's got a question for you.
Yeah, Strakes. 3 is May completely locked in at that spot. Maybe not the team, but at that spot. I think yesterday Schefter said that he had a 75% likelihood, if he were to put a percentage on it, of him going at 3 to New England, with them staying there. Obviously, he's -350 as a heavy favorite. Is that how you still see it? And also, Diana Rossini is reporting that Jonathan Kraft is heavily involved in the pick. He is an owner. Obviously, he's involved. But should that be any cause for concern for New England fans? And do you think that at the end of the day, if Mayo and Wolf are kind of on the same page with the player they want, they might be able to kind of convince Jonathan Kraft, like, hey, we got this, don't worry?
That bug got me too earlier.
Yeah.
Flew right.
I'll start with
the worst.
Yeah. I'll start with the front of that.
Yeah. Former church.
Well, it's getting nice out again. The bugs are back.
The pollen, the bugs.
It's too much.
How do these bugs always have the bee? Oh.
I swallowed a bee one time when I was a kid.
Wow.
So it's happened before.
That's pretty impressive. You should feel that.
It's a real story.
What? Okay, so the bug that just flew in your mouth there.
Of course, yeah, that was obvious. Everyone saw that.
Sorry, Shrek. Sorry. We got a Thunderdome issue going on. We got to get a bug.
No, I get it.
All right,
I get it. The cicadas are out.
Whoa.
Don't wish that.
Not yet. Those are going to some other states, I heard.
They better.
Thank God you all are going to have to experience what we had to do a couple years ago. These sons of bitches were dormant for almost, 2 decades or something?
I know.
And they came out, they were chirpy. These things were talking a lot, didn't they, Shrek?
They're screwing, too.
No.
Boning? They are, Shrek.
They're saying it's going to be a
Multiply.
historic year for them.
Not for our state.
Oh, yeah.
No, send it to another
All
state.
over.
Illinois.
Two are going to be the worst.
Make these assholes
They're coming.
in the other states that were, how loud could the bugs be? You have no idea.
loud.
You have no idea how loud these little bastards are.
Yeah, 2 different batches this summer.
You got to.
In Indiana,
I think it's everywhere.
I'm buying a flamethrower. That's it.
I don't think we should be doing.
That's it.
They don't live.
Did you see the end of Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
Didn't they?
Which one?
Right? Didn't they? Wasn't that the essence of the entire story?
The last one, it kind of sunk, but they did torch those big
Oh, yeah, they did the bug.
cricket bugs.
That's
and
what
it
we're doing.
ruined
Had
everything.
That movie was so bad.
It was awful.
I'm not getting it. Sorry, Shregs.
It was.
Let's get back to the Patriots. pick at
Sorry.
number 3.
No, I was going to talk about Jurassic Park 11. I have thoughts.
Whoa,
Is that the newest one where they lit the things on fire? That's the only Jurassic Park I've ever watched, and boy, was it horrendous. I had no idea. Anyways, let's get back to the Patriots, which might be Jurassic Park. Bunch of dinosaurs of the past.
Bunch of bugs.
The dynasty that was potentially taking place, and now they have to rebuild. Sorry, who's making the decisions up there? The son?
See, the first part is I think May does go third, and I think there are some teams that will be dialing and trying to move up. The 2 teams that I've been hearing the most about being May teams in the last 48 hours are the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Giants, which are teams who have 11 and 6. Now, look, does Minnesota maybe want to move up for J.J. McCarthy as well? Sure. Does the Giants potentially want to move up for? Sure. I'm just saying there has been connections from other teams around the league, not to Minnesota and New York specifically, that they're hearing, hey, those are 2 linking spots. Now, can Minnesota get all the way up to 3? Well, they've got the 11, they've got the 23, they've got a future first. Like, they could offer a back. Then if you're the Patriots, if you're not sold on May, maybe you move back to 11 and hope McCarthy is sitting there. Well, that's playing quite a game of dice.
Dangerous game.
Can't do it.
Dangerous game.
Yeah.
And gosh, I've heard from a million people about this third pick. I've had Drake May going 3 to the Patriots all along. The latest thing I've heard, and now Diana said that, Kraft might be playing a role, Jonathan, and maybe this is his opportunity to really say, hey, I'm the man. I'm getting involved. We've got Bill's finally out of here.
I'm making documentaries. Yeah, we get it.
I'm doing documentaries, and then I'm saying, wait, we were disappointed with how. Okay, all that fine.
Yeah, we own the documentary, but yeah. That's happened before to others as well, I think.
Yeah, sure. I would say, does Mr. Brady make a call and say, hey, guys, this Michigan kid, I'll tell you what, this Michigan kid, he's got what it takes, and I'll tell you, the Michigan Mafia starts. I don't think Brady's calling anybody and making anything, but this is what happens 48 hours from the draft. People are like, don't forget the Brady-Michigan tie and Brady and Robert and how tight he is with Kraft, and if Brady really wants to go to bat for McCarthy, does he have a voice in this thing? And I'm like, I don't see it. I think it's Drake May number 3, or someone else trades up to get him. But gosh, if they start getting cute with this thing, this is going to get really interesting. To me, you need a quarterback. Take Drake May. He's 21 years old. Build around him, and let's call.
And you got Jacoby Brissett, who's played meaningful football before. He'll be able to get you. Nobody's expecting you to win a Super Bowl this year.
Nope.
I mean, if you do, good on you, Coach Mayo. Everything would be on the up and up if you did. But everybody's saying Drake's a project, but everybody's a project too. So it's I don't know where the line is drawn. But if Tom Brady's calling the Kraft family and saying,
and I'm not saying he is, but that's what people are now theorizing. If there's a McCarthy to the Patriots tie, it's because
But that's a draft in a nutshell, because with pick 4 and 5, for instance, the Colts could get involved with that strictly because the owner.
Harrison.
Yes, bingo.